What's up, everybody? Good morning. I hope you are fine. I don't know, somebody will see this video in the evening, somebody in the afternoon, somebody at night. But here is your girl again, Roziky Rozalima. I'm here again on the disability issues. Before any further ado, please subscribe. Consider subscribing if you are new here. If you are a member here, please like, comment, share, and let's do this. So we want to talk about disabilities. I went to different schools, different institutions, special schools, as we've agreed. I visited three schools. In Kisumu County, I visited two, then one in Siaya County. In Kisumu County, I visited Kibos Special for the visually impaired, those people who can't see. I visited them. And if you have not see or be in touch with that video, just look at my wall and you will see the video at Kibos. After Kibos, I visited Joyland Special School for the physically impaired. And Joyland, I found that there are multiple disabilities, not even physically, but most of them are physically impaired. So it was started as a physically impaired institution, but later there were multiple disabilities which we found there. We found there was cerebral palsy there. We found that there were the deafos are there. There are those who can't walk. After that, we go to a school in Siaya County called Nyangoma for the deaf. Nyangoma for the deaf. So when we start with the Kibos Special School for visually impaired, we found that there were albino there, and mostly the albinism has difficulty on sight, and when you see their balls or pupil, it is rotating. It is not static. It is rotating. And there we find that there were different children or different learners. Some use white cane. Some use a guide in that they can't use white cane. Somebody must hold them so that they can walk. Those are the blind, totally blind. And those who use white cane, those are the visually impaired. They can see a little. Like example of I can say my boss because I do part time on her. She is visually impaired and she reads font 72. Yeah. And when she reads font 72, she can't read it like this. She must put it near her eyes so that she can read and see. Okay, at Kibos, we also find there were teachers who are visually impaired. So teachers are visually impaired. They teach learners who are too visually impaired. So when we go to Joyland, there were multiple disabilities. In that we find those people who have weakness on their limbs are weak. So one can't use hands, can't use legs, but instead uses his mouth or her mouth to write. And if you have not seen that video, please go and see and make sure you like, you comment. She uses her mouth to write. We find another one, two of them, who uses their legs to write. They have a problem on their limbs, on the hands, so they use their legs to write, and it was so interesting. Another one, we find that Can we call it pygmies? Too short boy. And we were told that that short boy, she is perfect on football. She, not she, but it was a he. He is perfect on football. Then when we go to Nyangoma, the compound was silent. It was silent because they use signs. There is no sound through their mouth. Instead, they use their hands to signing. They sign through their hands. And we find one multiple because there was one boy in grade 8 whom we were told will not do an exam because he is mentally disabled. At the same time, he's deaf, so he has multiple disability. So instead, he will not do NEC exams as KCSE. He will do intermediate exams, those for the mental people. So in those three institutions, we find that there were disadvantages, like for example, on matters on sexuality, there were huge problem on sexuality because we find that these disabled people, parents parents decide to take them to their schools so that they can learn when they are aged. And we find that most of them, they are taken to school when they have started their adolescent. You find that one person is 14 years and is in grade 1. So that is why the problem of sexuality is very very, how can I say, is very familiar and very common on those schools. So we find that there is boy-girl relationship among them, and it is worse because they've started school when they're starting their adolescent period. Even the deaf people, they are common in sexuality, and the big reason we were told it was because they start their schooling when they are aged 15, 14. You find one is 14 years and is in grade 1, surely. And some even are eyeing at their teachers. Yeah, a pupil is eyeing at the teacher who teaches them. Okay, another one is the curriculum. Like now, there is this system called CBC. CBC does not favor them that a lot because CBC first is expensive. Unlike on primary schools, when you are told that go to when you go home, please come with the, let's say, hen or chicken. You come with the chicken from home to school. But you see, those disabled people, they are boarders. They can't find those chicken, so it will force the institution to go buy the chicken so that they can prepare it at school. And find that that is expensive. Some institution doesn't do that. So like the visually impaired people, they can't do that. They just can't do that because they won't see what they are doing. Okay. On CBC again, it is expensive on them because of the curriculum. Find that they're like on at Nyangoma, the deaf people, they don't do Kiswahili language. They do English language. And that English language they are doing, they break it. There is breakage on English. So they are not fluent in English because they are signing. If they want to say, I'm going home, they can't say, I'm going home. They will say, I going home. I going home, not I'm going home. I going home. So they break. It is word powered, word powered. And I can remember when I went to Nyangoma, they asked me my name, and my name I spelled to them. This one is R, this one is O, this one is S, and this one is S, this one, and E is this one, Rose. And they, you say finger spell or do what? They said Rose is this one, Rose, Rose. Okay, so I'm common. I'm familiar with the signing because my mother my mother taught in a special school, so she used to teach us those signs. So I'm not that bad on those signs. Okay, another one we can talk about is the challenges they face, and the most challenges they face is the financial challenge. You find that when the government are distributing the capital, when the government contribute distribute finances to institutions, you find that the disabled ones will be remembered last. And when they are remembered last, it will find when the finances are already over. So they get a little. And in disabled institution, they should be given even more than those regular schools, because what they do there is a lot. I tell you, it is a lot. So that is for a summary for those three schools I went. And if you have any question, if you have any unturned stone, please comment down there so that we can discuss. And if you wanted me to go to a certain institution, disabled institution, please let me know so that I can go there. For now, please consider to subscribe if you are new. Please subscribe, please like, please share, please comment, and let's meet to the next video.